Okay, now we will see the differences in aerobic and anaerobic respiration. What very important 2 marks question. What are the differences between aerobic and anaerobic respiration? Okay. Now aerobic respiration occurs in the presence of oxygen. Anaerobic respiration occurs in the absence of oxygen. Okay. Next, aerobic respiration occurs in cytoplasm and mitochondria. Anaerobic respiration occurs in the cytoplasm. In aerobic respiration, the glucose is completely broken down. Okay. So wait, before coming to this point, so occurs in the cytoplasm and mitochondria. Aerobic respiration occurs in the cytoplasm and mitochondria. So what happens? The glucose is converted into pyruvate. The glucose is converted into pyruvate in the cytoplasm. Up to there it is common for both. The pyruvate enters into mitochondria for formation of ATP in aerobic respiration. Okay. The pyruvate which is formed when it has oxygen available, it enters to mitochondria, and from there ATP in mitochondria we have matrices. You remember the structure of mitochondria. Okay. So cristae are present in the matrix. In that matrix ATP are produced. Okay. So in the presence of oxygen, the pyruvate will enter from cytoplasm into mitochondria, and from there ATP is generated. In anaerobic respiration, from pyruvate only ATP is generated, which occurs only in cytoplasm, because most of the most of the bacteria or okay, just leave it. You can tell that pyruvate is converted in the absence of oxygen. Pyruvate in the absence of oxygen can undergo anaerobic respiration. This occurs in the cytoplasm. Okay. Now in the aerobic respiration, the 6 carbon molecules of glucose are completely broken down. Okay, completely broken down. Here what happens? The glucose is not completely broken. It is either broken into two molecules. Remaining 3 are left over. So incomplete breakdown of glucose occurs. Okay. So glucose molecule, you write down, glucose molecule is completely broken down. Incomplete breakdown of glucose molecule occurs. The end products of aerobic respiration are carbon dioxide, water and energy. And the end products of anaerobic respiration are carbon dioxide, ethanol or lactic acid. Okay. How many ATP are generated? 38 ATP are generated from the aerobic respiration. That is, from one glucose molecule, you will get 38 ATPs in aerobic respiration. But if you see in anaerobic respiration, from one glucose you are getting only 2 ATP molecules. Okay, that's why most of the time our cells prefer to have aerobic respiration, because ATP is the energy of the cell. Cell needs continuous energy. So what is the full form of ATP? Adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine triphosphate. In last nutrition chapter 9th class also we discussed. What is ATP? Adenosine triphosphate. Okay. So this is the difference between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Okay. Now what happens? There are some questions given in your textbook. So let's try to answer them. What happens? Mostly related to the anaerobic respiration. The questions are mostly related to the anaerobic respiration. Okay. So I have told that when you are doing vigorous exercise, what respiration will take place? Definitely it is anaerobic respiration. So because oxygen will be reaching to the muscle it will take some time. So during that time the muscle will, what it will do? It will carry on anaerobic respiration and generate ATPs. there is an activity given. You take two people. One is normal person. Think you are there, and another person who is well trained athlete. Okay, means athlete means a sports person. Okay, two persons you take. Consider one yourself, and another is an athlete. Okay, so you two are standing. You are supposed to run 100 meters race. 100 meters race. So both of you are ready to run. What 100 meters? 100 meters is not a long distance, very short distance. Okay, 100 meters race. Now both of you start running. After you reach your goal, how would you be? How would be the athlete be? Will you be in the same normal condition when you started running, or will you be in another condition? అర్థమైందా క్వశ్చన్? ఇప్పుడు ఇద్దరు ఉన్నారు. ఒకరు నార్మల్ మీరు, ఇంకోరు అథ్లీట్ అంటే స్పోర్ట్స్ పర్సన్. నౌ యు ఆర్ రెడీ టు రన్ 100 meters race. 100 meter race స్టార్ట్ చేశారు. సో మై క్వశ్చన్ ఈజ్, ఆఫ్టర్ కంప్లీటింగ్ యువర్ గోల్, వెదర్ యూ విల్ బి ఇన్ ద సేమ్. మీరు స్టార్ట్ అయినప్పుడు ఎలా ఉన్నారో ఎండ్ అయినప్పుడు అలాగే ఉంటారా? No, definitely no. What you will do, you will be taking breathing, excess breathing. You will doing like this, excess breathing you will be doing, because your muscles have worked a lot and they are continuously need energy. They continuously need energy while you are running. So they continuously need energy means they are doing anaerobic respiration, along with aerobic respiration is also being occurred. That's why you are taking breathing. When you see an athlete, that is trained person, he will not do any breathing because he is trained. He is trained. His body cells have adjusted to the environment. In the absence of oxygen also, they can, means definitely anaerobic respiration will be taking place in him also, in you also. But he can withstand for long time without breathing because he is trained. Okay, advainda. So first రేస్ ఎండ్ అయిపోయాక మీరు ఏం చేస్తారు? స్ట్రాంగ్గా బ్రీతింగ్ తీసుకోండి. అథ్లెటిక్ స్ట్రాంగ్గా తీసుకోండి, ఎందుకంటే ఆయనలోనూ ఎనరోబిక్ జరుగుతాను, మీలోనూ జరుగుతాను. కానీ అథ్లెటిక్ ఏంటి? ట్రైన్డ్. సో ఆ సెల్స్, ఆ మజిల్స్ ట్రైన్ అయిపోయినాయి. absence of oxygen లో కూడా ఎక్సెస్ బ్రీతింగ్, ఎక్సెస్ ఎయిర్ తీసుకోకపోయినా ఏటీపీ ప్రొడ్యూస్ చేస్తూ ఉంటాయి. అర్థమైందా? కానీ ఇక్కడ ఏమవుతుంది, మీకు రీచ్ అయిపోయారు మీ గోల్కి. ఏటీపీ ఎనరోబిక్ రెస్పిరేషన్ ద్వారా జనరేట్ అవుతుంది, కానీ ఎనర్జీ సరిపోవట్లేదు ఇంకా. సో ఏరోబిక్ రెస్పిరేషన్ కోసం మీరు గట్టిగా ఊపిరి తీస్తారు. ఇక్కడ ఏంటి? ట్రైన్డ్ అయిపోయాడు. సో మజిల్స్ విల్ బి క్యారింగ్ ఎనరోబిక్ రెస్పిరేషన్ జరుగుతూనే ఉంటాయి. నార్మల్గా ఎయిర్ తీసుకుంటాడా, అప్పుడు ఏరోబిక్ రెస్పిరేషన్ స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది. ఇక్కడ అలా కాదు, మీకు ట్రైన్డ్ కాదు. సో మీ సెల్స్లో ఎనరోబిక్ జరుగుతూ ఉంటుంది, కానీ ఇంకా ఎనర్జీ కావాలి సెల్స్కి ఇంకా, ఎందుకంటే మీకు ట్రైన్ లేరు. సో సెల్స్ నీడ్ మోర్ ఎనర్జీ. సో అందుకు ఇట్ విల్ search for oxygen and do aerobic respiration also. Okay, clear? Now one experiment, another experiment is given. Okay, athlete, like one sportsman is there. You will do this experiment in the lab itself. You will keep one treadmill. Okay, ask him to run on the treadmill. Means you will on the button, so treadmill will start working. So first you keep at low speed, then increase the speed. After 1 hour, take his blood sample. What will be there in the blood? Definitely lactic acid is there, because he is running on the treadmill. So muscles will carry anaerobic respiration. So lactic acid is produced. After 1 hour, see. After 2 hours, next again take the blood sample, again check. Lactic acid is still present. So now ask him to stop the exercise and sit in rest position. After rest position, after 1 hour, take the blood sample. Now observe the lactic acid. When he is doing the vigorous exercise, lactic acid production will be more. When he is rest, the lactic acid which is formed during vigorous exercise will start dissolving in the blood and the lactic acid levels will be decreased. Okay, in the blood. It is dissolved in the blood and it is converted again into the glucose. There is a graph given, okay, which is not that much important, but as it is given, I will explain you. So here time is given, concentration of lactic acid. So what happens at 0 minutes? So there is no lactic acid. Okay? At 0 minutes, this is your muscle, and 0 means that. At 10 minutes, after 10 minutes, the lactic acid formation starts. That is, it will be almost 20. Next, after 20 minutes, it will be nearly 80. Okay, wait. 40, 60, 80. Okay, after 20 minutes, it will be nearly 80. Okay? Next, after 30 minutes, so his body has started producing lactic acid. After 30 minutes, it will go for again 100. Okay, it will go for peaks 100. Okay, now you are asked to slow down the exercise, reduce the vigorosity and the speed ni tagginchanu. Speed ni tagginchiనప్పుడు what happens at 40? It will decrease. The lactic acid is decreased. Now it is starting at 80, 20, 80, 100. It is decreased to almost 70. Okay, almost to 70 here. Again, still the speed is increased. It comes to 40. Yeah, it comes to 40. Okay, so this just you remember that when you are doing vigorous exercise, lactic acid is produced. It will be remained in the blood for some time, and after your exercise is completed and you are in the rest position, the lactic acid again dissolves in the blood and forms the glucose. Okay? Still any more is there? Yeah, that's it. Okay? So just remember these 2 points. Okay? So differences between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Why during vigorous exercise, a normal person and athletic person, there is change in the breathing because your muscles will work more. So you need more ATP. That's why anaerobic and aerobic will be carrying on in your muscles. The athletic person is trained, so he can stay without oxygen for few minutes or few seconds. So in his muscle cells, anaerobic respiration is carrying and ATP are generated, which is sufficient for him. He will take definitely breathing after some time. Okay, but in your case it is not there. You are not trained, so your muscle needs more energy. So that's why you carry on both the respirations. Okay, this is about cellular respiration. Okay, clear?